When the dawn of gaming appeared, there were a number of systems vying for consumers' attention. Through the midst of these contenders, two companies began to shine bright. Those companies, Nintendo and Sega. Sure, Atari had a presence, but at a distant third. The home console market was dominated by two systems for most of the late 80s and early 90s. The Famicom, or Nintendo Entertainment System, and the Sega Master System, or simply the Master System. Where hopes were once focused on gaming survival, it soon shifted to whose side would gamers choose. Thus, what is now called fanboyism began its first stages. This is a story of one of gaming's most challenging battles. This is a story of how gamers don't die, but multiply. This is the story of picking sides. Welcome to Old School Roots, where we dissect retro games and gaming subjects. A show that's half fact, half nostalgia, and all gaming. Join us as we take a trip back to the golden era of gaming. This is Old School Roots. In the United States, the average video game player is 30 years old and has been playing video games for over 12 years. In the UK, as of 2007, the average video game player was over 23 years old, had been playing video games for over 10 years, and spent around 11 hours a week playing video games. A gamer can often be referred to as belonging to one or more of these subgroups. A gamer is someone who partakes in interactive gaming, such as predominantly video games or board games. The term normally includes those who do not necessarily consider themselves to be gamers, i.e. casual gamers, as well as those who spend a notable part of their leisure time playing or learning about games. A newbie or noob is a slang term for a novice or newcomer to a certain game or to gaming in general itself. A casual gamer is a player whose time or interest in playing games is limited. Casual gamers may play games designed for ease of gameplay or play more involved games in small groupings of times, at a slower pace than a hardcore gamer. The genres that casual gamers play vary, and they may not own a specific video game console to play their games. Casual gamers' demographics vary greatly from those of other video game enthusiasts, as the typical casual gamer is older and more predominantly female. One casual gamer subset is the fitness gamer, which plays motion-based video game exercise. A core or mid-core gamer is a player with a wider range of interest than a casual gamer, and is more likely to enthusiastically play different types of games, but without the amount of time spent and the sense of competition of a hardcore gamer. The mid-core gamer enjoys games but may not finish every game they buy, doesn't have time for long MMO quests, and is a target consumer. A hardcore gamer spends a good amount of time playing video games, often having the latest consoles, high-end PCs, and are usually technologically savvy. In addition, they prefer to play games that have depth and complexity and often seek out game-related information. A retro gamer is someone who prefers playing and collecting retro or classic games, older video games, and arcade games. They may also be called old school gamers. These terms are prevalent in the United States. The games are played either on original hardware, on modern hardware via console emulation, or on modern hardware via ports or compilations. There are many different areas or classifications of people who play video games, with the most common term being gamer. This term can also be split into areas as previously mentioned. Where does that leave the term fanboy? Although the term did not originate in the world of gaming, it has been taken on and used in the gaming community. Its slow, progressive use has taken on all types of meanings, but most notably of someone who defends their particular brand, company, or game itself. Before there were two major gaming consoles, gamers really just wanted something to play and were happy to have most attempts at gaming. Upon the NES and Master System's arrival into the world of gaming, lines soon began to be drawn in the figurative sand. In schools and playgrounds all around North America, arguments could be heard at any given time on which was the better system. These debates mostly depended on three factors: games, graphical power, and bits, an imprecise computing measurement. Kids would waste hours on end discussing this topic, and maybe as much time debating as they did playing their system of choice. With the evolution of gaming, so did debating. When games like Street Fighter II hit the arcades, droves of gamers went to play it. Not long after, a new challenger stepped into the arcade to battle for coinage. Mortal Kombat boasted superb motion captured photorealistic graphics, awesome gameplay, but most notably was gory and a bit more realistic. This once again divided gamers, as two factions began to debate which fighter was the better of the two. Thus, the beginning stages of fanboys hit its stride. A fanboy, for clarification, is a person who is a fan of a particular product. He or she will defend their product of choice no matter what flaws it may display. Fanboys also suffer from not being able to recognize positive attributes in an opposing product, leaving these types of gamers to form an incoherent and often non-whimsical argument for their side of a particular product. In this respect, one could say that a fanboy is a narrow-minded and short-sighted person. Fanboys have left their mark on the world of gaming for quite some time now. Some good, but mostly bad things come into play when thinking about fanboys. Forged on playgrounds and schoolyards, fanboys simply gave their heartfelt opinions and beliefs in their favorite systems or games. With the advent of the internet, fanboys have created a world of pain for other gamers. There may never be a time again when you enter an online game of Madden football only be greeted with someone who talks about how much better NFL 2K was. You can't view message boards or comment sections on YouTube about PlayStation or Xbox without reading unbelievable comments where gamers bash each other's personal preferences. It has become evident in today's society that fanboys aren't going anywhere. What was once a fun, simple, and harmless trait has now developed into a small, hateful community. A community filled with a subset of gamers whose sole purpose, it seems, is to defend to the death their personal beliefs at all costs. This is quite shameful because at one point, gamers, much like other groups of people, struggled just to be recognized as a legitimate culture. As hard as the gaming community may try, it seems that fanboys don't die, they multiply. That's it for this episode of Old School Rules. Join us here at Gaming So Spectacular next time as we take a nostalgic look back at NBA Live Basketball. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as usual, if you can't be good at it. Hey Spectacular Gamers, if you like this episode, then check out our other episodes and tune in every other Friday for new episodes of Old School Rules. Thanks for watching, everybody.